Many thinkers have argued that the most stable form of powers is not exercised through force or explicit command. It is the kind of powers that lead peoples to regulate themselves without realizing they are being controlled. The most effective form of powers is not imposed from the outside, but internalized by individuals themselves. At its place is proof of the statement. It describes powers as something that operate not only through institutions, but through environments, habit, and what society accepts as normal. This way of understanding powers becomes tangible when one enters Wat Lok Moli. This temple is not chosen for its visual spectacle. It is not a popular check-in spot for tourists. It is chosen because it's one of the oldest temples in Chiang Mai.
Now we are in Chiang Mai, so actually, during this time it's just winters in Chiang Mai, but the weather is not that kind. You see, the sunlight is extremely hot, and finally we arrive at some very calm place. I think this can fulfill something in my mind.
Its site just outside the Northern Mall near Chiang Gate. Historically, is one of the city's main entrances. A temple in this position would normally function as a landmark. It would be expected to draw attention, to assess the presence, and to signal its importance. But Wat Lok Moli does none of that things. It does not compete for attention. Historically, Wat Lok Moli appears in records from the late periods of Lana kingdoms, around 15th to 16th centuries, a time when Chiang Mai remained a political center, but was increasingly smacked by instabilities, internal conflicts, especially from Burma force. During this period, temples were not merely religious space. They were integral components of the city's political and urban structures. Wat Lok Moli served as a residence for the senior monk, and it is believed to house the remains of members of the royal Rana's lineage. It did not need popular devotions to legitimize itself. Its status were already recognized within the existing power structures. It remained quietly embedded within the cities, present without demanding recognitions. In Thai societies, temples have never functioned solidly as sites of ritual. They are public space, centers of learning, and instruments through which social order is maintained. Architecture plays circles roles in this process. Scale, height, ornamentations, spacious hierarchies, all act as language. A language that tells visitors how to behave, how to move, and how to understand their positions within the sacred orders.
It says this place was meant to be for meditations, and I would like to say it was very perfect because it's calm, of course, and the space and the environment, the vibe is perfectly.
When religion is viewed as a social structure, it is no longer only the matters of personal belief. It's become a system that organizes people, regulates behaviors, and enable controls without the needs of explicit command. However, the architectural tools commonly used to produce relevance are largely upset. There is no overwhelming monumentalities, no spiritual pressures that force visitors to feel small. Instead, the temple's flavors restaurants that do not rush the bodies or dominate the sense. These restaurants become more meaningful when read against the historical context of late Lanas. Wat Lok Moli's architecture reflecting the logics with remarkable qualities.
You guys might disagree with me when we're talking about temple in Thailand because Thailand has a lot of temple and all of them were the same. I mean in terms of designs and things, yes, of course it's the same, but Well, if you compare like most of the temple in Bangkok and here in Chiang Mai, the design and the architecture's element is totally different. Here it's more about like a dramatics like wood carving and things because like Chiang Mai, there has a lot of wood.
The temple's main chedis offer revolving examples. It is Lana-style prasad chedis. It's squares, tile-based, and place-like structures that carry clear connotations of authorities. And yet, here's the chedi is not enlarged to imposing scale. It's not heavily decorated. A form recognized as the elite is present, but its expensive force is durability's restraint. The locations of a temple is ranged within ambiguities. Situated just outside the city walls, Wat Lok Moli is neither a ceremonial center nor a papal style. It stands near one of the main gates, witness movements in and out of the cities, existing near powers without occupying in state. Psychologically, space like this does not regulate behaviors through rules or prohibitions. They are operated by shaping a sense of appropriateness before consciousness reasoning begins. Visitors do not desire to lower their voice or slow their step. Their bodies adjust first, movement softens, self-regulation occurs without instructions. Human behaviors is learned through repetitions of context, more than through the explanations. When the space doesn't simulate, rush, or provokes, stillness becomes the safest response. Silence, in this sense, is not emptiness, it is a gentle pleasure, one that encourages people to monitor themselves, to fear being out of place. Once norms are internalized systems no longer require constant enforcement. Many temples in Thai society exist between religions, communities, and governance. Boundaries are rarely explicit, yet they are widely understood. Walking deeper into Wat Lok Moli, the silence does not come from the insolations. Roads remain nearby, the city is still audible, yet the space holds quiet with consistencies. It is not a size to consume, a place to pause, to sit beneath the shady shadows. To walk slowly across the brick and timbers, or simply remain still. Understanding emerges through presence, no explanations. What makes Wat Lok Moli completing is not what is lacked, but what is chosen to be used. Wat Lok Moli doesn't offer a definitive answer about religions. Instead, it reveals something more difficult to notice. That certain forms of power do not need to be loud, or dramatics, or even visible. And perhaps, the temple silence is not absence from meanings, but a careless statement is made.